Chertoff had given the order when he was still the head of Homeland Security to begin the purchase of them. And now he's the head of the company. Again, that's just one little piece. When you hear them immediately ready, immediately scripting, you notice you didn't hear any more about these firecracker bombs in Maryland last week, because those were probably real lone nuts that did that. When it's real, they're not ready, they don't know how to handle it. Okay, but when it's staged, they hit the ground running and they're ready. And then the evidence just comes out. And it's on record, the government got the underwear bomber on the plane, boys and girls. It's on record, Anwar al-Awlaki, the admitted CIA asset secretly meeting at the Pentagon, runs all these people. It's admitted that for 2 years they knew Hussein was planning the attack at Fort Hood under Anwar al-Awlaki's control. So I know a staged event when I see one, but I wasn't sure Saturday and Sunday, and I said so last night. But I said, looking at his M.O., most of these mind control guys are given a personality template that they are a Grim Reaper devil worshiper and that they've got all this power. And I said, I believe he's a devil worshiper into the kind of vampire type subculture. You know, imaginary vampire. And sure enough, ladies and gentlemen, black magic, vampirism, and all the stuff that goes with it, dressing up like a woman, being a liberal, going and helping at the dog park. I mean, it's all 100% goes together, part and parcel, and all integrates together. And here's another headline. Shooting suspects' nihilism rose with isolation. Exactly. Into everything dark. I love Hitler, he says. I love communism. I love the devil. I love voodoo. You know. Do what? And it says he's a truther in the article. Yeah, this is definitely a mind control. This whole thing was scripted from the beginning. I mean, look, I've got all the articles right here in front of me. Will Obama force America to absorb a terror attack to save his presidency? That's September 22nd, 2010, with all these White House advisors saying how great a big attack on the government would be to make them look like the victims. Here's another one. Top Fed repeats ominous absorb terror attack rhetoric. But they know you don't buy into the Muslim stuff anymore. So this happens. Now, before I get into that new development, let's get to this article that we've got to get out to everybody. Liberal smear machine backfires after gunman found to be a cultist, pot-smoking left-winger. A full-scale demonization campaign against conservatives, free speech, and the Second Amendment on behalf of Democrats and the establishment media in the wake of Saturday's shooting has sensationally backfired after it emerged that the gunman, Jared Lee, was a left-wing, pot-smoking liberal who was into dressing like a Grim Reaper and dabbling in the occult. So again, we've got this Loeffner individual who is a kaleidoscope, a cornucopia, whatever you want him to be, he's it. Again, they want to demonize marijuana legalization movement, boom, he's that. You know, the animal rights people, he's that. The left, the right, just everything. In their fervor to tear down the First and Second Amendments, Democrats and their allies in the corporate media hastily characterize him as an anti-government right-winger in the rush to link him to the Tea Party and Sarah Palin, a contention that is still being invoked as Dems seek to rush through gun control legislation as well as a bill that could make criticism of government a form of hate speech. However, precisely as Alex Jones forecast on a show last night, and he's got a link to it, it has emerged this morning that he is a devil worshiper wannabe who idolized fake human skulls and dressed up like the Grim Reaper. Well, more than that. I mean, that's a Santeria if it's the white side, you know, voodoo if it's the black side. It's death worship, devil worship, with a skull, giving it oranges. I mean, that's what they do. How often have you witnessed a Tea Partier, an anti-government activist, or a conservative engage in any of the following behaviors, all of which are confirmed to have been conducted by Loeffner? Burning an American flag, being a left-winger and a liberal, that's what all his friends said, smoking pot, having long hair, dressing up as the Grim Reaper, dabbling in a cult by worshiping a replica of a human skull. expressing the desire to be a woman, describing Karl Marx's Communist Manifesto as his favorite book. Does it sound like Jared Lee was a right-wing conservative, as the liberal smear machine is attempting to claim, despite the fact that his former classmate described him as, quote, quite liberal and left-wing? The New York Times, Washington Post, along with a host of statist blogs like the Huffington Post and Daily Kos, were beating the drum for so-called right-wingers, opponents of Obamacare and big government. You ought to really love the tyranny, liberals. He continues the torture, the wars. You're not liberals. You're a bunch of fascists. To be politically silenced in the name of toning down the rhetoric. Really, when Obama is saying they bring a knife, we bring a gun, or when you're talking about how on the Daily Kos, how she's dead to you and how horrible she was. In reality, the shooter's political views were all over the map, sharing characteristics of conservatism, liberalism, and libertarianism. He was a fundamentally disturbed and deranged individual. And when we come back, now he's a truther. That's right. Mumbling in class about mind control constantly. He's got a voodoo shrine in his backyard. And then we've got all this legislation being proposed to shut down the First Amendment and Second Amendment.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 5 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $209, and the Berkey Guy will include 3 sport Berkey water bottles and ship everything to you free of charge. That's right, 3 sport Berkey water bottles and free shipping. An $87 value, yours free. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As we're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
They have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today, it seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
This is not a drill. Repeat, this is not a drill. Gun sales are on a staggering pace. Gun prices are going through the roof, and that means desperate, vicious criminals now want your guns and will do anything to get them. Now, a new book reveals powerful secrets for hiding your guns from thieves and looters. You'll learn step-by-step, battle-hardened techniques, where to hide your guns so criminals will never find them, how to create the perfect hiding place, as well as the places you should never hide your guns, under any circumstance. These and other closely guarded gun caching secrets are guaranteed to keep your weapons safe and out of sight when the going gets tough. But listen up. For security reasons, the Hide Your Guns book and even the website may disappear without warning at any time. Go to hideyourguns.com. That's hideyourguns.com. Or call 877-327-0365 before they come for your guns. Hideyourguns.com right now. Right now.
Here it is right here. The shooter, reported shooter, said he didn't want people to wake up every day to the same day. He wanted more chaos. He wanted less regularity. That's what Harris and Klebold said. And now their unnamed friends There's all these other MySpace and Facebook's records of what was said about being Grim Reaper, wanting to be a woman. But now there's unnamed people saying that they would hang out and smoke marijuana every day with the crew. And when they weren't going to concerts or watching movies, they talked about the meaning of life and dabbled in conspiracy theories. See, if you question the government or Gulf of Tonkin, even though it's admitted it was staged, that causes you to dress up like the Grim Reaper and get into voodoo and Karl Marx and kill people. Mistrust of government was his defining conviction, the friend said. He believed the government was behind 9/11 and worried that governments were maneuvering to create a unified monetary system, a new world order currency. So see, now when it's all over the news every day, they're setting up a world government. You're not supposed to talk about it or have an opinion, even though it's all being set up, because, oh, he's one of those shooters, as the IMF and World Bank announced the Band Corps, as all of this unfolds and happens. So, classic, and this is out of the Associated Press, known for being government-run, so there's no telling if it's even true. It certainly may be. But the issue here is we know he's got the devil's shrine at his house. We know he wanted to be a woman. We know he's dressing up like the Grim Reaper, burning American flags. We know he's writing about the Communist Manifesto. That does not equal Ayn Rand. That does not equal David Icke. And so the system is desperate. They've got to get us back under mind control, get us back under their control, get us back under that trance of feeling sorry for the government and, oh my gosh, and it's so terrible. Meanwhile, this is a government that's killed over 1 million Iraqis, over 1 million Vietnamese based on lies, lying about WMDs, calling for violence against nations, telling us that torture of people's children in front of them to get answers is good. A government so arrogant that they've been writing public policy reports saying how great attacks on the government would be as a pretext to have the government have the excuse to take our liberties. That's how dumb they think you are at the White House. Now, regardless of whether this is staged or not, they're using it. And I want to make the #1 search term today so everybody sees this and so we can get on the offensive in the info war, and we're doing that. Liberal smear machine backfires after gunman found to be a cultist, pot-smoking left-winger. Let's get this out to everybody. The article's on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Kurt Nimmo has written another article along similar lines that deals with some of the same issues. Here's another one by Mike Adams. In the wake of Gifford's shooting, the mere act of questioning the government now being demonized. But here is the search term that I want to launch today. Liberal smear machine. Liberal smear machine. And it doesn't matter that Google blocks us on the news feed. If you have a blog or a news feed or a website, you just take our article, you just post it, and you get the traffic. Good for you. I could care less. And this information gets out about who this shooter really was. So there's your search word, search term, liberal smear machine. And why does the system want to make this all liberal versus conservative? By making it, hey, let's get the conservatives, they can get mainline liberals to go along with anti-Second Amendment and anti-First Amendment. You know, what are we going to ban violent movies next? Or violent music? Violent video games? See where this goes? So they want to get the left, and then there'll be terror attacks when a Republican's in, and then Republicans will cheer the giving up the liberties, and the left will fight it. See how that works? No. Let's come together and say no attack on the First Amendment, no attack on the Second Amendment. Search the term liberal smear machine.
America's #1 source for independent talk radio for over a decade. We are the GCN Radio Network.
Hello, friends. This is Alex Jones. You've heard me talk about Cal-Ben 5-star soaps for years. This is an American-made product of the highest quality and compares to nothing you will find in stores. You can buy factory direct, shipped via UPS right to your door. Check them out on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091. Take my word for it. Once you've used Pure Soap, you won't buy anything else. Since 1947, Cal-Ben Soap Company has been showing consumers that soap can be tough on dirt and gentle on the environment. Buy American and stay clean, as well as support InfoWars. Visit 5starsoap.com today or call 1-800-340-7091. Well, Marty, what do you have to say?
As founder and owner for over 63 years, satisfaction is guaranteed or double your dirt back. Call us at 1-800-340-7091.